Tony, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and you go under the project is called Glass Mask,
Yes.
and that's a band out of NEPA or just Pennsylvania in general, or where are you from?
We're out of NEPA. I live in Kingston. Most of us live in Kingston or 40 Fort. So we're local.
Cool. And I said before we jumped on and started here, I wasn't sure. I've never seen the band perform. I was able to listen to the music on Spotify, and so you were just kind of a cover image, so to speak, on a Spotify playlist or album, and you popped on here, and I'm like, I know that girl. And then I saw your name because prior to this it was Glass Mask, and now it's
Yeah.
Tony. And I think we have a little bit of a history, I guess. Not together, but we shared a same employer, I guess you could say.
hmm
So we'll get into that too. I'm kind of that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, Glass Mask. Cool tunes. And the reason I wanted to kind of talk to you is because I interview a lot of bands, and your band will be playing the Good Things Are Happening Fest on August 12th at the Scranton Iron Furnaces in Scranton. And that is organized by the infamous James Barrett, friend to all,
Yes,
lover
indeed.
of dogs, and just a good human being.
Top 10 for sure. I've known James for a long time. It's one of my faves. He could get anything done.
It was
Anything.
funny because he did this last year. He started last year. I remember him calling me up. Um, he had just played, or maybe he didn't play. I think it was last year. There was a show at Montage. That it's like something had to put it on because they got money from COVID, and they
Mhm.
had to kind of organize, I think, a give back concert. So I guess like they got a bunch of local bands. I don't think James was part of that. Um, and he wasn't in any way upset by that. He just wanted to kind of recreate that, maybe in a more intimate setting.
Mhm.
And I think he definitely did that with the iron furnaces because, as you know, Montage Mountain is a large venue. So,
Very,
I
very
mean,
big.
you need a national act to
Right.
really kind of fill that venue, right? And when you put together a bunch of local bands, and unfortunately, this is the case. I mean, I would put the talent here in NEPA up against any other city in the world. When I had a radio
Definitely.
show, I kept saying that, um, I would put them, the local bands, in regular rotation against, Walk the Moon or whoever it might have been on that station, Alt 92.1.
Mhm.
And but I mean, you put together a bunch of local bands in an 18,000 seat venue, um, with some arts and crafts and things like that, you're not going to draw. So it kind of felt empty.
Mhm.
So he put together this event. Last year was the first year for it. Good Things Are Happening. It's kind of a rip off of WNEP,
Mhm.
and we're this is the second year. So and you're part of that. So
I am.
sorry to be long winded there. I just wanted to kind of set that up and
Not
give
at all.
the event a little bit of a plug. But as far as Glass Mask goes, talk to me about the band.
Sure. So started out 2020 in the pandemic. I had taken a couple of years off from playing music because I had a job where I worked every night, every weekend. You know the one.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I wasn't really doing anything with that for a long time. Suddenly I was in my house all the time. I had my Mac that I was able to bring home from work. I started messing around with GarageBand, started writing some music again. It took me a little while to get like my feet going with it, but after a while, I had some stuff to show people, and I would shown my friends. And the idea at first was that we were gonna play the songs as I had done them in GarageBand, kind of like that synth pop thing that we were doing. But once it translated to like the live band setting, it kind of completely changed around. So now it's like a whole different experience than
Oh,
it
so
was.
what I've heard on Spotify is what you are as a live show is a little bit different than that.
Completely different.
Oh,
Completely.
wow. Because
Yeah.
all right, well, that's cool to know because I was gonna say like the music that I've heard on Spotify, I feel like it belongs on the soundtrack of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I could see
You know,
that.
it's got that 80s synth
Hmm.
vibe, like you mentioned. So yeah, where are we at today?
Yeah, kind of the same, not like the synth vibe totally, because obviously there's live drums, there's bass. We're a little heavier than you would think from hearing what I have out right now. But yeah, the writing process has kind of changed because of that too. And the songs are just a little bit different, a little more post-punk than synth pop.
And when are you gonna make that available?
It's a good question. I'm working on it. I have
Because
stuff in
I'm intrigued now. I mean,
yeah.
I like the what you have out now, but I'm intrigued by this like pop punk type of vibe.
Post-punk, I would say
Post
more
punk,
than pop
sorry.
punk. Yeah,
Sorry, post
definitely.
punk.
That's okay.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm working on it. Put some stuff out.
So who is the band comprised of?
So it's me, Fabrizio Mara, and Andrew Mikowski, who I've played with a lot. We spent like our whole adolescence playing in bands together. So it's good to be back with them. And then Callista Ewer, she's a new friend, but she's a very close friend now. She's on the keyboard. I met her at like just the right time that it all worked out.
That's cool. I don't know any of them.
That's
So
okay.
shame on me. Shame on me. But that's cool. Now, 2020, we're kind of you know, in our homes, and you're kind of fooling around with, whatever. Did you reach out to these band members and kind of say, "Hey, I have an idea of some things I want to do," and how did that kind of play out?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of asked them. I showed them the songs. They were down. I think it was a little confusing for everybody at first to try to translate that kind of thing. But yeah, they were all down for the whole time. They were like into it. And lucky to
Yeah.
have them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's bands can be a funny thing, right? It's like a little family.
Hmm.
Um, it could be a struggle at times, just like any relationship could be.
Yep.
Have you found you guys work together pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, we grew up together, so
Okay, so you guys have a long history
yeah.
together.
Hmm.
That's
Yep.
cool. Now you're playing music together.
Yeah. Still, after all these
Yeah.
years, we started playing. I was in a band called Spur for a long time,
Okay.
high school and college. So that's where they were in that band with me. So yeah, we've been playing together for a long time. That's all.
Very cool. Very cool. Have you guys played any shows live yet?
Yes. We played Good Things Fest last year.
Oh, okay.
That was our first show, which is really cool. That was our first
Oh,
show.
wow. So
Yeah.
that's gotta be kind of stressful, right? I mean, like
A little bit.
you're playing. I mean, it's the inaugural event, right? Like,
Yeah.
it could be a huge turnout, it could be small. We don't know, but like, obviously, I think who headlined that last year?
Captain We're Sinking
Yes,
and
Captain We're Sinking.
Slingshot Dakota too.
Yeah, so you're opening up for these, bands that have like some history and
Yeah,
some experience and who are well liked. So what was that like?
it was great.
No,
I've had a
no,
lot of chances to do that, which is really lucky. We played with Tiger's Jaw and Glitterer last fall. So it's definitely a little nerve-wracking to go into it. It's like, but
was that fall show in Honesdale?
yes, it was. It's a Planned Parenthood benefit.
Yeah, so
Kishbot
Kate
puts on
Kishbaugh,
every year.
Kate
Yep.
Kishbaugh, who I work with, she's actually
Ah,
my office roommate. We
nice.
share an office together. Kate's great.
You're
I forget.
Axelrad?
Yeah, so I work full time at Axelrad. Yeah, yeah. So
I work at a
Kate's.
screen printing place now too.
Oh, we're gonna fight,
Maybe, I don't know.
man.
See how
So
it
like,
goes.
are you following my career path? What's going on here?
Maybe, I don't know. It kind of seems that way, right?
What shop do you work at?
I work at Futuristic Innovative
Oh, very
Graphics.
cool. Down the street. Cool.
Mhm.
Nice. They're not gonna get mad at you for talking to me, right?
I don't think so. We'll see what
All right.
happens.
Well, hopefully Dave won't get mad at me for talking to you. There's plenty of business to go around, is
Yeah,
what
plenty.
I've found. And that's that whole industry. We can talk about that too,
Yeah.
if you want to later on. But yeah, it's an industry I never thought I'd be a part of or never thought I'd be in. And yeah, 4 years old, I just switched career paths, not paths. I shouldn't say that, but I left the radio stations in 2021 and started in the screen print world. And yeah, at 38. So it's been a ride.
Yeah. I did something similar. So
Yeah, how long have you been there
yeah.
for?
I've been there since October, so not very long.
So yeah,
But
so you're following me in my
yep.
path. Yeah, nice, very nice.
Love that.
Were you at KRZ too prior?
Nope. I wasn't.
That's funny. Yeah, so yeah, Kate put on that benefit. I forget what I was
Yeah.
doing last year. I think my wife and I just had a baby like early July last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, she just turned a year old. But last year, I think it was like a month. She was like a month old, and like I just couldn't like leave my wife alone yet for.
Yeah. It
So I missed that show, which is a bummer. But yeah, it's a great show that Kate
was
puts
a good
on, and
show. Yeah.
yeah, what a lineup. I mean, you guys, and
Oh my God.
then Tiger's Jaw, you said, and Glitterer, like,
Hmm.
um, what a great opportunity for you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about that. I mean, like you're playing these your first shows, like no big deal. We're playing opening for Tiger's Jaw and Glitterer, who all have you know, I'll call it a household name, right? Like, especially
Yeah,
with our scene, right?
definitely.
So what, I mean, is that like was that just like yeah, this is cool, like no big deal, or were you guys nervous?
I mean, I'm always nervous. I'm nervous all the time,
Yeah,
but it was cool. It was great. It was a great opportunity. I think we played pretty well, which made me feel better. Um, it was a good show. Had a good
you practice
time.
for a while, or
I mean, we practice every week, so
yeah,
pretty solidly too. Like we don't really take any weeks off unless we have a show, then we take the next week off. But
got it.
yeah, rule with an iron fist.
Very nice. Um, and how have you been received as far as the crowds and audiences
It's been
go?
great. A lot of people are surprised when they see us live after listening to what I have on Spotify, and they're pleasantly surprised.
Okay,
So that's been nice. Just like, all right, so you like what we're doing now? That's good. Uh, but yeah, the reception's been good. We're getting a decent number of shows, so I gotta believe that we're doing something right.
yeah. And how do you go about doing that? And I asked that question because I don't book bands. I'm not in a band that is active. I've never been in a band for that matter. But I've never gone about, booking myself for a show. Like, and I don't, I imagine it might be a little different today than it was maybe 20 years ago.
Mhm.
What does that process look like?
I mean, I'm lucky. I have a boyfriend who is a booking agent,
Oh, well,
so
beautiful.
he handles all of that pretty much. But yeah, it's largely it's just messaging people on Instagram. There are plenty of people who are having shows and who want to hear new bands and want to have that. Uh, and they'll put you on shows if you ask.
Yeah. So all you have to do is ask,
Yeah.
which is pretty neat,
Yeah.
right? I think that's like with anything. Like,
Yeah,
worst they could say is no, right?
exactly. Yeah.
So that's cool.
Mhm.
Um, as far as performing goes, like you said that a lot of people are pleasantly surprised with what you have, you perform compared to what you have on Spotify. Give me the timeline of that. Like, so when was that Spotify stuff uploaded compared to when you started playing live, and like when did that change?
Right. So I uploaded the stuff like a little while after I made it. It took me a while to like gain the courage to put it out. They're just demos basically, but I was still
Okay.
nervous. Um, so I wrote those songs end of 2021.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember when I put them out, but it was like a little bit like after that. And we started playing in the spring. So like the demos were coming out as we were practicing with the live band. So I guess the timeline kind of overlapped like
Okay.
that. But at this point, it's looking like it's a band like solidly, and we're gonna have like everybody in the studio recording.
Cool. Were you worried that, what you were performing was different than what you had available to consume?
A little bit. I just definitely like I want to have more stuff out because I want it to make more sense. Like that's where it comes from. Like the nervousness is like, oh
Yeah.
God, this doesn't make any sense. But I'm kind of over that a little bit.
Yeah, I
It
guess
will
you have
make
to be.
sense one day. One day it will all make sense.
Hopefully soon. Maybe you can share some like tunes with me that maybe you have like a rough drafts of or something like that. Just
Maybe.
I won't share them with the public. I'm not
Maybe.
a I'm not a big Twitter guy like James Barrett. No one's gonna find out about it.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
mean,
intrigued.
we have videos online of us playing
Okay,
live. So there's
I'll have to check
stuff
that out.
out there for that. I try to post as many videos as I can, just so there's like some evidence of the way that we sound live.
Okay,
So they're out there.
all right. And how you guys with the social media? I mean, you guys are young. Is that something you guys enjoy?
I'm not great at it.
Sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing to do, but again, I have friends that have the Instagram password and will share flyers when I forget to
That's
and
the
all
best.
that
Yeah,
kind of
here,
good stuff.
here,
Yeah.
yeah. Delegate. Here, you do
Please
this.
help me.
You're,
Like
you're
that
better
kind
at
of
this than I am. Yeah,
yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Sucks
I'm
that you
old.
have to do it. You have to do it if
Yeah,
you want to do anything.
that's what sucks. It's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
have to, and it's like if you miss like a week, it feels like you could be forgotten.
Yeah.
I
It's
try to,
awful.
yeah, I try to do these like every week and release one
Mhm.
every week. And there's times where if I'm on vacation or if some kind of guests just don't line up and I take a week off, I feel like I disappeared for 3 months,
Mhm.
but it's only been a week.
Things move so fast for people.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm on it all the time. I'm on my phone. I have 2 kids. I'm married. I have a job, and it's like I feel like I'm too consumed by the internet and social media.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not a great place to be most of the time.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a dumpster fire for the most part.
Hmm.
And now you have
Yeah.
Threads. Threads just came out. People are flocking to that. I still don't understand it.
Everybody's just, it's gonna all become one. Everybody's doing the TikToks now.
Yeah,
Instagram Reels and the YouTube Shorts. It's all TikTok. And then they're putting Twitter on Instagram and
right.
it's all getting out of hand. That's what I
I wish it would
think.
all just go away. To be honest
Yeah.
with you,
Just no social media. And
really.
then people would be
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, it was a simpler time when before social media. Even when I first started, it was better.
And
But
with that,
I don't know. What are you gonna do? I could
can't do
complain
nothing
about it.
about it.
I could complain about it. I could just embrace it. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna change it, right?
right.
But let's talk about a little bit more about the Good Things Happening Fest, August 12th.
Yeah.
Like I said, Iron Furnaces in Scranton. It'll be your second year playing. On that bill is Pedal, Wild Pink, Alyssa Lazar,
Hmm.
um, who, if people are listening to this and don't know who she was just recently on The Voice. I also had the pleasure of interviewing her for this podcast maybe 2 months ago. If you want to go check that out, but very talented singer, um, real talented, great
Hmm.
voice.
I actually
Um,
interviewed her a couple years ago for the Weekender, so I'm excited to see her.
yeah, so it's funny, like, yeah, she's. I mean, was she also doing the voice stuff back then
That
too?
was
Because
it was before The Voice.
okay, because
It was she was putting out a record.
because she's done the voice a couple times, but this last most recent
Hmm.
time was like she made it further than prior.
She's got an
Uh,
incredible voice.
yeah, so good, so good. But the Tribe, Little Hag, Estakota also interviewed them probably a month ago. You can check that out, and those guys are phenomenal. I mean,
Some of my favorite people, one of my favorite bands for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, again, going back to what I said earlier and what you kind of said too, it's like the talent here is just incredible.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, Channel 65, I feel like that's a newer band. I think young guys. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Uh, Brendan Brisk band,
Mhm.
another great band, bluesy outfit there. And then we're from Antarctica, which I've never heard yet, so I have to
Oh,
check them
they're
out.
amazing.
Yeah, what kind
They're
of
so good.
what kind of
They're
vibe
from
is
the
that?
Lehigh Valley. Ah, my God. They're like, I don't know how I would describe it. They're just fun. It's like kind of twinkly kind of
Twinkly?
stuff. I don't
What is that? What is twinkly?
like
I've never actually heard music described as that
is
before. This is
twinkly,
good.
no? You know, when like the
Never.
guitars are like they're twinkly, you know?
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I guess that's a fair description.
They're just a lot of fun to
Twinkly.
watch.
I like that. You learn something new every day. Twinkly. I
Yeah.
like that. I'll have to check them out. So yeah, August 12th. What are you most excited for on that day?
Oh man. it was so fun last year, just like the whole day. So I'm
Yeah.
just looking forward to being there. First of all, like it's just gonna be a really good time.
Well,
Um,
I'm a bad person. I'm a bad friend. Again, it was last year. It was in August. Again, less than a month after my daughter was born. Um, so a lot of I don't go out that much. I try and make like appearances, and I save my going out time for special occasions.
mhm.
Um, but I missed that last year. Okay, talk about what can people expect. I mean, talk about last year's event. I mean, let's tell me about it too, because I don't, like I said, I didn't, I wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean, they had a lot of food. There were food trucks, a lot of vendors with art. That was really cool. A lot of people came. It was hot,
Yeah.
but that's just the way that it goes. I had a sunbrella
Okay.
and like a hand fan that I just was posted up with all day, so I was good, but it was pretty hot. Yeah, the music was great. Matt Kester doing sound,
Oh, another great guy.
absolutely incredible. Oh my God. He did sound. We played with James at the Scranton Cultural Center in January. That had to be the best we have ever sounded. So I'm really looking forward to that.
When
Uh,
was that?
January 6th.
Okay, I was at that show.
You were there.
I just missed you guys.
Yeah, we played first.
Yes. So I saw Telco, I saw James.
That was a great show.
I just missed you guys. Yeah, awesome show. Yeah. Again, I stayed home, I did the bedtime stuff, read the books, and then I jetted out. Uh, but yeah. So Matt Kester was doing sound last year, and he's doing it again this year, I'm assuming. Yeah,
Yes,
so a great event. I mean,
definitely.
it's always scary though doing stuff outside.
Yeah, it's a little unpredictable.
Yeah. When I was at the stations, we did an event at the Iron Furnaces. We had Dirty Heads play,
Mhm.
and it rained most of the day, but it stopped raining when the show started. Um, but I mean, like anything, people see rain and like, I'm not gonna go to that. So it wasn't. It was actually pretty well attended considering the rain, but it could have been so much better. And that venue is like, I don't know why it's not utilized more.
Right? I wonder the same thing. It's like a great spot. It's really cool too, like the tunnels and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone's like listening to this, I mean, like Google the Scranton Iron Furnaces. There's a lot of history there, obviously.
Mhm.
And it's just like the backdrop and like the vibe for a show. I mean, a lot of the, from I was there twice. They do uplighting in the tunnels there, which is like super cool. Like it just, or like on the wall, maybe not in the tunnel, but on the wall. But like, yeah, it's just like a really cool venue.
Yeah, it feels perfect for like an event that kind of celebrates Scranton, like a
Yeah,
historical environment.
yeah.
It's just like a good place to do it.
Good things are happening.
Good things are happening. Many are saying this.
What's that?
Many are saying this.
Yeah.
Good things are happening.
Except those who aren't. I mean, it's funny that James was taking some heat from some trolls on the internet.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but some guy, I forget his name, but
Oh, I think I know.
he commented like a bunch of bands I never heard of for $25. No thanks.
No, thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. And it's funny because like immediately James pulls up an old receipt from last year. The guy made the same comment last year.
He did.
And James was quick. He's like, "Oh, I remember this guy, and I'm going to go after him." And now he's kind of like, using that funny that it's funny, and he's using it for the marketing angle to it, which
Yeah.
is
People love it.
yeah, it's funny.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
it's great. You know,
fun.
yeah, and those people like, they're everywhere, right? But
Yeah, people think that everything is supposed to be for them, and then when it's not, they get mad.
and free,
That's why, yeah,
let's face it too. If it was free, they still wouldn't show up.
no.
Those people would not show up.
And they would complain.
Yeah, they would complain it was like
No
on
doubt.
the wrong day of the month
Hmm.
or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But
Well, we don't want them there anyway.
yeah, exactly. Wish I knew his name. That guy can pound sand.
Yeah, what's his deal?
Let's go. Just trying to find him. Just trying to find him. I should have. Uh,
Let's get him on. Let's call him.
Yeah, we should. I'll message him right now. He'll say, "Hey, bud, we're doing a podcast with one of the no-name bands on this event, and we want to hear from you."
I just want to talk. I just want to talk to him.
Yeah, we just want to. I just want to talk. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. Yeah, I'm trying to I don't want any dead air. I'm trying to go back and see if I can find it real quick. But
Gotta find him.
James posts a lot, man. Jeez. I thought he was like a Twitter guy, but I guess he got his account. It was actually just a year ago, 2 days ago, that the incident occurred where he got kicked off Twitter, got suspended. That was heartbreaking for James.
It was.
Yeah, he's a big Twitter guy. I think he won an award for his tweeting.
Mm-hmm. He did. He's a top-notch tweeter.
Not anymore.
Rose from the ashes.
That's suspended. But while I look for this, what are you looking forward to this year?
This year, the bands are really good. I'm excited to see all of them, but mostly I don't know, Estacota, obviously. I've been seeing them for 10 years. It's going to be nice to see them on a big stage with crazy good sound, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's going to be even better than it was last year. And we're going to be a lot better than we were last year. And there's going to be more people. And it's just going to be a great event. Good things
are happening.
It'll be good things.
Yeah, $25 to see a bunch of bands I never heard of. All that more. I'm gonna get there. All that more, including local beer and art vendors at Scranton's favorite music festival.
Forgot to mention the beer.
Yeah. So, tell me about the beer. I mean, do you know?
Beer was great. There was beer. And it was great.
Yeah, I mean, wherever there's a beer, there's always a good time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe how much James posts. He's got to stop. Now, okay, so he's got a picture of you holding a mask, right?
Yeah.
Is that a picture of you?
That's me.
See, this is not fair. Your whole this whole thing is I'm not gonna say a lie, but your music has changed. This doesn't look like you. Come on.
It doesn't look like me. It's the mask. I'm covering my face.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know.
I'm not wearing glasses either in the picture, maybe.
Yeah. You're like Clark Kent.
A little bit more
You're like Clark Kent. You're fooling me with glasses. Oh man. God damn, James. I gotta stop looking. I'll find it.
Be on here for an hour.
But yeah, August 12th. I mean, Axelrad is was supposed to be on site. Not sure if we'll be able to pull it off or not, but he's like, "You got to make it, man. You got to make it." And I want to, and I think I need to.
You got to make it.
I know. I just don't want to I don't want to work because I just want to enjoy it.
Right. Yeah.
I want to be able to. I want to be able to chill and take it all in.
Drink the beer.
Drink the beer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Dude, I can't believe I'm still scrolling. I'm going back to June 4th here. I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop. Let me say there's a troll on the internet harassing James Barrett. If you're into that kind of stuff, follow James on Facebook, follow him on Instagram.
I'm sure the guy will comment something else at some point, and then
I hope he comments on this. I hope he releases this and he comes after us. That'd be fun. I'm on board with that.
I'm ready for him.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
But I mean, his defense, I'll probably be like, "Oh, a podcast I never heard of before." That's fine too.
Yeah, but it's free.
That's fine
right?
too. It is free.
You have to pay $25.
You don't have to pay to listen to it. Yeah. So, whatever. But so I mentioned earlier, when you jumped on here, I'm like, I recognize your face, and then I saw the name is in the corner, Toni, and I'm like, that girl used to work for The Weekender.
Yep, I did.
And people who know me and my history know that I also was at The Weekender for many years, from 2004 to 2013.
A lot longer than me.
Yeah, it was one of those things I was hoping that, like my parents, they lived in a world where they started working at 16 or between 16 and 20, and they had the same job until they retired, right?
Hmm.
And had the internet not come, maybe I'd still be at the Weekender. Maybe the Weekender would still be uh a source for entertainment,
Hmm.
like it was back in the day, but the internet changed everything,
Hmm.
unfortunately. Uh, when were you at the Weekender?
Jeez. Well, I worked at the Times Leader, same parent company
Same ownership,
situation.
yep.
Yeah. So I worked at the Times Leader. I started there in 2017. I was still in college. Um, Graduated 2018. I left last year. So this is math. Like 5 years I was there.
Oh, that's a while.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of time. The whole time, like since I graduated college and in college, I was working there.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
5 years feels like an eternity at this time, you know?
it does. Um, so yeah, got out of there. Not
It-
a thriving industry. I'm
yeah.
sure you're aware.
Yeah, I mean, when I left, it was for different reasons. I mean, well, I
Mhm.
mean, I saw the writing on the wall as far as where print media was going, right? And they didn't want to invest any kind of money in. They're like, oh, we gotta like, get on the internet and do internet stuff and do digital and blah blah blah, but like didn't want to um like give a budget towards
Mhm.
doing those things. I remember seeing you and what was the kid's name?
Pat Kernan.
Pat. Um, you guys, I thought you guys did a good job. You guys were doing kind of stuff that we had done back in like '06, '07, with like
Hmm.
updates and stuff and videos.
Yeah.
Trying to like, be present in that space, but
Hmm.
it's
Only so
hard.
much you can do.
I know. I
Um,
know.
One thing I learned is that you cannot get anybody under the age of maybe 25 to read a print publication. Like there's no way to do it.
It,
Maybe
well,
like a couple people.
it's hard, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's, can't do it.
yeah. I'm still not sure how. I mean, obviously, the both Times Leader and Citizens Voice, Scranton Times have um, cut back on printing physical copies every day.
Mhm.
I think the Times Leader is down to 3 or 4 days a week,
Yeah, when I was
and
there, that's what we were doing.
yeah. So, and then I think the Scranton Times they were holding out longer, but I think that they started cutting back too. It's crazy, and I mean, like, I still have a lot of friends that are in those medias, and I mean, best of luck. It's like it's tough.
Yeah, you gotta really love it and be
Yeah, I
willing to
mean,
put up with a lot of stuff. That's all I'll say about it, I guess.
yeah. So there for 5 years, you said.
Hmm.
Um, you're with the Times Leader. Like, how did you get kind of pulled into the Weekender? Because weren't you doing like beer stuff too?
Yeah, we had the beer gang.
Yep.
Um,
So I pay
I don't know.
attention. I pay attention.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had
Well,
the beer gang. We did some videos and stuff. It was fun. I got a lot of experience. That's pretty much
yeah.
it.
Well,
Glad to be moved on.
yeah. Well, the funniest thing to me about companies like that, right? Um, I don't want to talk shit, and so
I'm
I'm gonna I'm gonna
trying
prep
really hard.
I'm gonna preface it with like this is not me talking shit. This is me like if I was a consultant, and I was consulting them, this is what I would say. Like,
Hmm.
this is how you could
Totally
like,
fair.
help your presence. Like, it's a media company, right?
Hmm.
Podcasts are everywhere. There's a dime a
Hmm.
dozen. Like, so much that like, it's almost if you're not Joe Rogan, if you're not like these huge names, it's like why even bother because it's so oversaturated, right? But like as a media company, like you have the ability, and I think you probably have a budget to buy a camera, at least one or two. You have a room in the building, I would
Hmm.
imagine, like that's not being utilized, turn it into a studio. Like it doesn't take a lot of money. Now, I will also say that like I am in my basement and I have my bar in my basement as the backdrop of my podcast, and I've been doing that for almost 3 years. But I don't own a building with an empty room in it. And I don't make enough money doing this to pay rent somewhere. So that's
Yeah.
why. But like but I'm saying like if you own a building, there's probably I'm almost certain you probably have a room somewhere that's not being utilized. Turn it into a studio and utilize that to create video content.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And we had that a little bit at the Times Leader, but yeah, I hear what you're saying for
I
sure.
don't know.
There's like definitely ways to adapt
Yeah,
that might not appeal to a lot of companies, but
I don't know.
they should do it anyway.
I don't know. I just feel like you have to like be in that space, especially as like a news organization or an entertainment organization. Like, the Weekender came back. It's an online only, uh, medium now, and I don't know. It just again, not gonna talk shit. They're trying their best. I just think that there's things that they could do to make it better, and they
Hmm.
just don't. And it breaks my heart. The Weekender for me, like it's like one of those. It's like that ex-girlfriend that cheated on you, and like you hate them, but you still love them.
Yeah.
Like that will be the Weekender for me forever.
Hmm.
I almost got a Weekender tattoo. Like that's how serious I was about it.
It was much beloved. I know that. Not when I worked there, but before I worked
Yeah,
there, it was much
it
beloved.
it was an amazing concept. I mean, I actually interviewed the guy who started it.
Mm.
Well, both guys that started it, Bob Kelliger and Jim. Oh, damn it, Jim. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on your last name. Shit.
Sorry, Jim.
Jim McCabe. Jim McCabe? No. James McDonald. That's it. James McDonald.
James McDonald.
But yeah, that's back in the archives if anyone wants to hear about how the Weekender started. You can check that out. But yeah. So we both moved on. I went into radio and then I eventually went to screen printing and you decided to leave the Weekender and also head to screen printing.
I skipped over the radio, but
Right. But
yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of things wrong with it for sure, and like there were a lot of reasons why I wanted to leave. I couldn't do the nights and weekends anymore.
mm.
It's like
Yeah, so you're doing like reporting, right?
I was doing mostly page design and
Oh,
copy
okay.
editing.
Got it.
In the weekender I did a lot of writing. But day to day, like my Times Leader responsibilities were like design and
Yeah.
copy editing. But yeah, I couldn't play music when I was working there. Like what?
Yeah, you're working when you
After like my whole life, my parents are both musicians. They met in a band. I was born playing music and I did it like my whole life. And then I stopped so that I could work at the Times Leader.
yeah, what a
So
life.
couldn't do it anymore.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So now you're working for a company that like, I'm sure you probably like print for some bands and like it's like that artsy community. It's like kind
Hmm.
of DIY.
It's definitely music and screen printing are so linked.
Yep,
So it feels like a natural place to be. I'm not printing. I kind of want to. I haven't really gotten a chance to do that, but I'm doing design and sales mostly.
sure.
But I like the industry a lot. I'm glad that I moved into it for sure.
Uh, Talking to customers, is that your favorite thing to do? I don't want to talk shit on them either.
I don't want to talk shit on customers, but I
No,
will.
it's hard. So some of them are hard.
Oh my
It's
God. Yeah.
people think that a sales job is easy.
I don't think that.
Well,
It was
so
a compromise for me. It was like, well, I get to do design. I have to
yeah.
talk to people. Like it's
So like you get both. So like as I'm in sales too. So we have to relay, our customers' words to the the design team, where you can kind of hear the customer's words as they say them and
yep.
design based, which is probably
Hmm.
a huge help
Yeah.
because it's the whole like with the telephone game or whatever. So like
Hmm.
is it goes along and like the words that I use and how I describe things, like you could see those words and see something completely different,
Hmm.
right? So that's always a fun game. I love the
It's
customers that just maybe something cool.
yeah, I just want some shirts.
Just something cool. It's like
How
okay, okay.
many?
Yeah, just maybe something cool. It's
I
like
do. I
okay.
like the something cool. I get that one
Yeah, it's like
sometimes.
where do I
There's
start? It's
something
like
cool.
I can't say to the designer, hey dude, just maybe something cool. Like they'll love it, I'm
I don't know,
sure.
man. That's all she said. She just said to make it cool. I don't know.
Yeah, and they would take an hour and do it, and then it's a waste of their time because
Yeah,
that's not cool to the
it's not
person. It's just
cool. You need something cooler.
yeah. It's funny. It's
It's the same everywhere, I guess, isn't it?
oh, I mean, if you there's a podcast called The Shirt Show. Um and those guys, there's two owners of shops, one's in New York and one's in St. Louis, I think it is. And they have guests on who are also shop owners. And it's like any issues that you have, it's straight across the entire industry.
I have to
So
listen to that.
if you're
That's
ever
that might
saying to
help.
yourself like this doesn't make sense, like how can we fix this? You can't because it's happening everywhere and none of us can figure it out.
Well, that's a little comforting, I guess.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is. Because like even like you're sitting around, it's like, oh man, it kind of feels slow. Like what is this is this us? Is this the time of year? Is it like are people scared to spend money? What is it? Um it's you listen to them, it's like, oh yeah, like we're in a little bit of a lull too. Um so it's like it's kind of comforting to it's just like
Hmm.
across the country. It's cool. It's a wild
Yeah,
industry. I never
it
thought, like I
is.
said, I've known Axelrad. I've known Dave and Matt for since they opened their shop in Kingston back in like '08 or whatever it was. And it was funny because I was like, even back then, like Dave's like, come work for us. And I'm like, I want to so bad, but like I already have this cool job at the weekend that I
Yeah.
love, and like I wish I was at a job that I hated because I would come work for you like
Yeah.
right now. But it's funny, like 15, 16 years later, here I am,
Full circle.
full circle. Yeah. I can't, and this has to be it. This is forever for me. I can't. I refuse to um go somewhere else or have to start over again because it's just. I never thought so. Like people think, oh, you just sell T-shirts. How hard can it be? You know how many brands of T-shirts there are?
I do.
I
I
know,
do
I know you do. But
know.
I'm saying like there's people who are asking the question, like, oh, how hard can it
Yeah.
be? It's like there's so many factors that go
So many
into.
moving parts, like you would never think. I started in receiving.
Okay.
That was fun. It was like Christmas time. They were showing up with 90 boxes and it was just me back there and I just had to like do all the check-ins like by myself.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Um yeah, as soon as January hit, that was it. It was slow.
Yep.
Probably talk about that on the podcast.
Well, that's I think every industry ever.
Yeah,
Restaurants,
Christmas is like
media. Yeah, Christmas
it's a
kills
nightmare
everybody.
for everybody.
Yeah, it's like once that hits, it's but yeah, I mean, and there's so many variables, and like
Mm-hmm.
I still spend my life trying to eliminate variables, whether it's at work or home or wherever it might be. I try to eliminate them because, as you know, more variables, the more room for error, right? It's like you could do your job 100%, 100%, but like it can go to art, and it could, a mistake can happen there, or
Mm-hmm.
receiving, or production, or packing, or shipping. It's
Yeah.
like I did everything right. How did this
So
happen?
many steps. So
You
many
know?
steps. And that's a good thing, I think, is like everybody knows that it's a shit show. So it's just like you're just rolling with the punches. So
Well, that's what I love too. It's just like every day is like a different,
Mhm.
like I used to use the word challenge loosely
Yeah.
but it's like no day's the same. There's
No.
days where you're jumping in helping pack boxes or receive, or we also have an embroidery department,
Yeah.
so we're helping people embroider or
Hmm.
clean the embroidery items. It's fun though. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. I like it too. I like the hustle. Big on
Awesome.
that.
Yeah.
So I got into news. So it kind of worked out. It's the hustle.
Yeah, what took you? I mean, as someone who grew up with music, you just like? Did you like? Was it design or was it writing? Was it
Yeah.
like?
I mean, I didn't want to go to school for music. It felt like a bad idea. I kind of regret that now. I wish that I maybe would have done that. but I liked writing, so I thought that that was a good like way to be creative in a job, and I was good at it, so I went with it. I didn't study design in college, but I did a lot like in my own time, and I ended up doing the page design at the Times Leader primarily. So things just kind of worked out for me in an interesting way.
Got it. Well, there's worse things you could be doing because I mean, it's I think it's hard for people who are in design to find work in
Mm-hmm.
that field. It's
Yeah.
like, you were able to use that talent for page design, and now you're making art for t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. I think like certain people have certain brains for art versus
Mhm.
like there's definitely like this. I'm not an artist. I can't perform music. I can't draw. I'm just not an artist. But I have like the sales ability and the talking to
Mm-hmm.
people and things like that. And I think people just have like these different sides of their brains that work better than others,
Yeah.
in my
I would say
opinion.
that. I would say that. The talking to people thing, not the best for me, but
Well, didn't you just say before we started, and then I almost got nervous, like you wanted to start interviewing people?
oh no, I was just joking around.
Oh, you
Uh,
were? Come on,
what?
you were just
Maybe I
joking?
don't know what you're talking about. What were you talking about?
I don't know.
I said that I got into news so that I didn't have to be the one being interviewed anymore. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I was just joking.
Oh, I see. Over my head.
That's okay.
My bad.
All good.
But well, I mean, outside of this Good Things Is Happening Fest, what's on tap for Glass Mask the rest of the year?
Yeah, so we are going to be playing a few shows in the fall, hopefully like a couple of weekends, like little weekend runs, maybe 3 or 4 days. So I'm looking forward to that. Probably going to start recording music sometime in the fall, late summer, that kind of thing. It's in the works. So hopefully we'll have something out pretty soon. Um, Other than that, I'm just playing a lot of shows, having a good time, writing music.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So, elevator pitch. Why? What would you say to somebody for them to like check out Glass Mask?
Oh, um, oh boy.
Why
Well,
should they? Why should they check you out?
um, well, this is hard. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Elevator pitch. Well, if
You
you
have
like
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds, I don't know.
I mean, is it? It's okay. So I'll help you out
That
here.
was really
You know,
that's too much pressure. I don't know if
no,
I
I
can
mean,
do
like, is it a live show?
it.
Is it like, are you? Is it a lot of energy? Is it like, lyrically? Is it deep? Is it about certain things? Is it about something people can relate to? Things like that. Like, why? If you if I say to you, why should someone check out Glass Mask? I mean, like, let's say I'm a label or record exec. Like, hey,
hmm
like, pitch me on your music. Like, why should I check it out?
Well, yeah, it's got a lot of energy. Very loud. We like a wall of sound. So
Okay.
if you're into that, um, very ambient, a lot of space, a lot of that kind of stuff. If you like music that's kind of sad, but like also kind of upbeat sometimes, you might like Glass Mask. That's all I got to say about that.
Lyrically, what do you kind of pull from?
Um, I write a lot about my mental health.
Okay. All right. So that's
Um,
relatable. I mean,
yeah,
that's a
I
huge
guess
thing
that's
right now.
pretty relatable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
wrote a lot about that kind of like inner stuff more than anything else. Just trying to put feelings into words. I put a lot of feeling into the music itself when I'm writing it too. Uh, yeah, lyrically, or so just mental health stuff. And that's all I got.
Okay.
Sorry.
You have to see for yourself.
was hard.
If anyone, I know it's a tough question, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe like, I'm not saying the best interviewer in the world, but like maybe that's a question like you can maybe reflect on and have an answer
Hmm.
for if someone were to ask you that, because I think
Yeah.
that's important, right?
Hmm.
Like anything, like if someone said, "Why should I listen to your podcast?" I mean, I'm not gonna go off and right now and say why, but like, I mean,
Why
I
not?
have an answer. I have an
Hmm.
answer for it, but like, why is it important to you?
It's important to me. Oh, it's like songwriting is so important to me. It's like the only way that I'm able to process anything that happens to me, anything that like I'm feeling. It's like the best way for me to do that. And as you play the songs over and over again and you perform them, they become less for you and more for the greater
Right.
people. So it's less yours, so it's less painful.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. Um,
But it could
so
be like
that's
a source of almost like therapy to a degree,
exactly, it's a
you know?
catharsis. It's like, here's this horrible thing that I'm feeling. And our songs are kind of dramatic. I write kind of like dramatic songs. It kind of helps to hear those back and be like, wow, it is dramatic. And that's kind of funny. And then
Yeah.
that's it. I'm good after that.
And I, I don't want to ask this question but I will, because I'm sure it still exists. But I don't want to make it about this. But like, what's it like being like a female fronted band? Like, I mean,
Oh,
have you experienced any kind of hurdles that you've had to overcome, or where you thought like if maybe if you were on all male band, you'd have an easier time? Or again, I don't want to make it about sex. I don't view things that way. I don't like,
yeah.
what I'm saying, but like it still exists. It's still real life.
Yeah,
It's still
definitely does. I mean, not so much lately. It hasn't happened very much. Now, I was always every time I've been in a band, I think that I've been the only woman every time I've been in a band. And now we have two, and that really
oh
confuses
shit,
people.
oh shit, taking
They
over.
really don't know what to do with that. Um, like they're coming up and like they don't know whether to shake your hand or like
Right.
whatever. But
Dude,
yeah,
I'm
just
I'm I'm a person the same.
yeah, like just let me play. But yeah, I mean, there's a certain pressure associated with it that I don't think that people who are not women, I don't think that it exists the same way. There's just like a all eyes on you kind of thing where you feel like you have to prove something. I'm
Right.
better with that now. That doesn't bother me so much anymore. But when I was younger, that was really difficult.
Sure. Well, hopefully it's a little less now than it was,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
however many years ago. So that's good.
Yeah,
Cool.
not too bad.
Well, you sold yourself on Glass Mask. Now,
I
where
don't
can
know
people
if I
find?
did.
No, you did. You did. We got you through it. It's where can people find it if they wanted to? Now that people are like super interested, like you really sold it really well. Like, I gotta check out Glass Mask. Where do people go?
So you can find us on Instagram, and that's glassmask.pa. And you can find us on YouTube under Landslide Collective. Um, that is our booking agent slash managers collective thing that he's working on. I won't talk too much about that because it's not mine to talk about.
Okay.
But we have all of our stuff on there. It's at Landslide Collective on YouTube.
Okay.
And that's going to be a big thing down the road.
Sweet.
Hopefully, I'll be able to talk to you about that more in the
Yeah,
future.
and if you want to pass my contact along, I would
Mhm.
obviously love to support stuff like that too. So anyway, I can help get that word out about cool stuff happening and
Yeah.
things people should check out. I would love to be part of that.
Heck yeah.
I mean, what I got out of this whole thing was I need to check out We're Antarctica, or
We're
We Are
from
Antarctica,
Antarctica.
because it's twinkly.
It's a little twinkly. It's a lot of
Twinkly.
fun. A little twinkly, a lot of fun.
Well, if you're looking to see Glass Mask live, August 12th is a confirmed date in Scranton. Iron Furnaces for the Good Things Are Happening Fest with a ton of great bands that you've never heard of for $25. So make sure you go check that out. But for real, I mean, Pedal, Wild Pink, Alyssa Lazar, The Tribe, Little Hag, S Dakota, Channel 65, Brennan Brisk Band, We're from Antarctica, and then obviously Glass Mask. So I'm really hoping to get out of the house. I'm hoping that that weekend is not booked for
Mhm.
me by my wife or other family members that I don't know about yet. So if that's the not the case, I will hopefully be there to check out these great bands because uh, yeah, they're all awesome.
I hope to see you there.
Yes, make sure I'm not really great at saying hi at events. I'm very shy.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, so I mean, if I look at you weird, it's not because I'm weird. It's just because like I'm like I don't know if she recognizes me or maybe she doesn't want to say hi. I do that with everybody.
I'm the
It's just
same way. We're
I
gonna do it to each other. It's gonna
yeah
be
we'll just
great.
yeah we'll have a
We're just looking at each
conversation.
other like,
We'll have a conversation with our eyes and we'll know exactly
yeah.
what's going on.
Uh-huh.
I've done it before. I did that with Dave Matthews.
Wow.
Real quick story and I'll leave. I'll
Hit
let you go.
me.
I'll let you go. Um, it was in Disney. This is 2007, and I was in Disney, and we were like seeing some kind of like parade or whatever, but the streets were pretty like narrow. And I look across the street and I see this guy looks just like Dave Matthews, and he's got two kids, I think it was, and he's with his family, obviously. And I look at him and I give him like the eyes that say like, "I think you're Dave Matthews." And he looks back at me, kind of nods, and he's like, with his eyes, he says,
Yeah.
"I am who you think I am. Don't fucking bother me."
Please leave me alone. Yeah.
With my family, don't bother me. And I didn't. I didn't.
Respect.
I
Yeah.
respected, like, we literally had a conversation with each other without even having words, right? And,
With the
you
eyes.
know, the only reason I know for a fact that it was definitely Dave Matthews was because there was somebody else in Disney that I knew who took a picture with him and posted it on social media. They were not as respectful as I was.
Seems so, yeah.
So yeah, so that's what we'll do. Like we'll have a conversation
Yep.
at the festival.
Eyes only.
Eyes only. Like
That's it.
you'll be like, "Hey, it was nice talking to you on your podcast." I'll be like, "Hey, likewise," and then we'll be on our way.
That'll be it. Yeah.
I'll be like, "Hey,
I look forward to
great
it.
set." Like these are all the things I would say. So awesome. Well, seriously, I do hope to see you there. And I appreciate your time. I really do.
All right. Thank you for having me. This was
All right,
fun.
thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
I will
Bye.
see you.